Hi guys, it's Sarah with Grassroots Evolution, and I'm here today to bring you a monthly message for the sign of Aquarius for January 2021. Happy birthday to any of my Aquariuses out there. I love you guys. I'm glad that you're here with me. Thanks for stopping by the channel if you're new. If you are a subscriber, you guys mean the world to me. I love you, like always. And if this does resonate and you're new and you haven't yet subscribed, please hit subscribe, join the journey with me, and let me encounter your energy more often. It'd be wonderful to have you along this journey. So guys, keep in mind it's a general reading. It may not resonate for everyone who is an Aquarius. You may need to or want to look up your moon or your rising sign to get a little bit more messages. As well as we are currently in Capricorn and moving into Aquarius season, kind of on this cusp of Aquarius at this point. So I also find that sometimes I resonate with the sign that is we're currently in. So just take it for how it resonates for you. Again, though, no matter what messages come through, it's up to you. Your active free will, your grassroots evolution, the choices you make, the changes you make, and the steps you take in your world to get whatever fulfillment it is that you'd like to see. And to me, that's personal freedom and personal power. So guys, I'm going to take a moment just to ask Archangel Michael to jump in, to guide, guard, bless, and protect myself, this reading, and any of you who would ask for it, to use me as the clearest channel possible to the most far-reaching of audience, but for messages only for our highest good. We don't want no second-rate messages. So guys, I'm going to first off bring a message. It's called the Messages of Life Oracle by Mario Dugue. Just to get one overarching energy that would be helpful to know this month, and two came out. So one that came out is I discover who I am, and the inner sense. So the bottom here is the eyes of the heart, and this could be really important this month, making sure that when we're looking, right, when we're looking to our future, we're seeing it with the eyes of our heart. We're not going solely for financial gain. We're not going to make moves for other people. We're doing what our heart is leading us to, and this is also really important. So the inner sense, which would be our heart as well, because our inner knowings, our heart knows the way. It will guide us. So if I trigger you through something, if I say something that upsets you or makes you feel a certain way, what was it? What's it attached to? Why was it here for you at this point? What is it bringing to light? Where is the healing that needs to happen? And how can you use this information going forward, to create positive change in your day-to-day worlds? So the inner sense. Today I silence the noise of my mind. I stop listening to my ego and the influence of others. I become aware of what comes from my heart. I listen to my inner voice. I stop doubting myself, and I develop confidence in my inner sense. My inner truth is the divine truth. And this is really important. I feel like it's a lot about trusting you and discovering who you are this month. So I discover who I am. I no longer put myself down or see myself as having limitations. I discover my inner wealth and become aware of my true self. I am in touch with all of my needs, and I am not concerned about the judgments of others. I marvel at the beauty and all the possibilities available to me as a being of light. I learn to recognize what is divine in me. And with this, I'm hearing Pillar of Light. Discovering who you are, you may also be connecting to your light body, starting to understand when your body's absorbing light codes as well, and starting to understand maybe a little bit here that you were put on this earth more than just to eat, sleep, pay bills, and repeat, okay? Things like this. That you have a purpose on this world. Stop doubting yourself. Don't put yourself down. If there is something you'd like to do, some endeavor that speaks to your heart, or some mission that your soul feels drawn to, go towards that. Trust your inner sense that you're making the choices that are right for you, and remember that you can make choices and then choose that that was not my path, but you tried it, right? So seeing with the eyes of our heart, making movements for what's true to us, developing confidence in your inner self. I feel like this is one of the most important things, because if we weren't shown ways to foster our confidence, or if we don't feel very confident in ourselves, sometimes we will do this little digs at ourselves so that we are doing it before somebody else can do it. That's one of the things. But when we put ourselves down, or kind of say, well, I'd love to do this, but it's never going to happen. I'm not that good at it. what we do is we self-sabotage. We're putting an energy of destruction and of failure in front of us before we even try. And if we're going to do that, are you going to give it your best if you don't think you're going to get it? Probably not, right? Your words have magic, they have power, and they can open powerful portals of manifestation by putting your intention behind it. So this is really important in terms of affirmations. So even thinking here, today I silence the noise of my mind. I am beautiful, I am love, I am light, I am forgiving, I am worthy. Things like this, when you tell yourself who you are, discovering who you are, this is also important. And I like to think of the rule of 3. There is a deck I love called the Crystal Mandela Oracle by Elena Fairchild, and when she does her affirmations and healing processes, it is done in a sense of 3. And honestly, when it's done like this, it almost is like you've pushed past your ego of pushing back, and you're believing it when you're saying it, and there is definitely a healing magic to it. So if you're looking for a new deck, and that Elena Fairchild deck seemed like it was for you, you may want to research a little bit more. But I think there's an important in the power of 3, and that when we're doing things, it says, I'm in touch with all my needs and I'm not concerned about the judgments of others. This is so important. When we are seeing and moving with the eyes of the heart, our heart doesn't care what other people think. Our heart knows what our heart wants. Our heart knows what it's connected to. And, we shouldn't have to worry about other people judging us for following our heart's desires. So I'm going to bring a message from Spirit through the Zombie Tarot. I was actually guided to bring 2 decks of tarot in today, so that and the Chakra Wisdom Oracle. So let's see what messages we have for Aquarius, please. For the sign of Aquarius, thank you, January 2021. You have the Tower in the reverse and the 5 of Swords. So I'm hearing right away this could be bickering and fighting. Remember right away what this said, though, to your own inner sense. This could be within yourself, that you're fighting changes or movement is what I heard. This could also be that it is the fighting changes. Being of a conflicted mind, so if we can't get our head straight or wrapped around a situation, if we're in mental conflict and we're fighting against ourselves, we're definitely not going to achieve the goal that we would like. For some of us, I feel like we are actively blocking this, or somebody in our midst is actively blocking our change. If that is the case, what I'm hearing is the words projection. And I actually tried to record this video for you guys, and I had some technical difficulties, but when I got to where I got to was there was a lot of discussion about projection. And when other people judge us, so this part about I listen to my ego and I stop listening to my ego and the influence of others, and I'm not concerned about the judgments of others. Those 2 things, when people put us down for seemingly no reason, or when we tell people our goals and our dreams and they tell us that's not going to happen, no point doing that. I think this is where a lot of us get this self-sabotage too, of wanting to go for a goal, but if we've had people in our life who are naysayers or who have been afraid to make changes in their world themselves, they will find every way and reason to tell you not to go after your dreams because they think they're helping you. They're afraid and they're holding on to fear. Because they don't think they would have succeeded. You're not them, right? Your limits are what you put on yourself. I don't mean that, if you go and you try out for some show, like let's say I like The Voice, okay? I'm not saying that if you try out for that, you're absolutely going to get it. But if you put your hard work and determination into that, you at least have went for what you wanted. And if you get in, great. If you didn't, they'll give you pointers on what to do when you come back. And if you come back and it's still not for you, then you tried and it wasn't for you, and just keep moving on and plodding forward. But if you don't try, you'll never know. And there's regret that comes with that as well. So let's not worry about the projections of other people. This could be what's in our head. Why am I not moving? Why am I not taking that chance? I'm afraid of what other people are going to say about me. I've had these conflicting feelings because I want people to like me. I want people to think I'm normal and sane, but this choice I want to make seems totally insane. It's kind of like there comes a point where you just drop all the worries about what other people care about and think about you, and come to a point of going, all that matters is how I see myself. The projections, where I was getting to that, is there was this quote I found on Facebook, and it worked its way into the reading, and it's coming back now, is that if you knew how many people cope by projecting, you would learn to take pretty well everything not personally. You would stop taking things personally, because people are having a bad day and they just lash out, maybe not even aware that they're doing it. Some people definitely are aware that they're doing it, and that's a coping mechanism as well. But we maybe need to change our thinking about this, that until we realize that what other people are saying or what we perceive as a put down, we first off need to see what they said. It triggered us, it touched us in some sort of way, why, and how do you feel about this person that's speaking, that's triggered you, that's putting it down? That's also, I think, what's important. Because if you wouldn't ask for their advice, or you wouldn't take their advice, why are you listening to their criticism? That's also a really nice thing to think about, right? Because if we don't respect their opinion enough to ask for their advice when they give it to us, we don't need to take it. And what I feel like as well is, if you do have somebody around you projecting or putting out little passive aggressive put downs and things like this, rather than outwardly reacting with hurt and anger, try and look at this in a way of be like, does that resonate with me? Is there any truth to what they said? And if you don't feel in your inner sense like there was truth, you know that's a projection, and you don't need to take it seriously. And in some ways, when we have those jerks, I'm just going to say it like that, who try and push our boundaries, who try and get the digs in, who want to see a reaction, when we stop that, first off, they're not getting what they want. There's no reaction. What's the point of it doing it anymore? It's kind of like a kid. Secondly, again, you're not giving a reaction, so what's the point of doing it? But they will try and try and try, and this stuff will come out into the light. So trust your inner sense. If right now doesn't feel like the time to jump or to make the change, wait a little bit. If you're feeling like you're in struggle with another person or with your own mental space, wait a little bit. If you're struggling with worrying about how others are going to feel or take this news, we need to find a way to cut cords of attachment to what they think or their belief systems. Because if we live our life for everyone else, we would never, ever accomplish our own goals and our own mission. I'm also feeling like it's like if we don't live for us, you'd never marry for love. You would never meet the people who are right for you. You know, things like this. If we were, not never, okay? But it would be like, we would do things for everyone else. And there are places and times where, if you, especially romantically, where it doesn't matter. In all honesty, it might make it easier if your parents like your significant other. If your family likes them, there could be lots of reasons why they're worried about you, right? They're, especially if they feel like it's been toxic or there's patterns of abuse and things like this. But some people are just overly worried and are jealous that they don't have this situation in their life. So if you have jealous jerks around you, or I was going to say a-holes, but I didn't. But if there's people around you who are really jealous, they may want to subconsciously sabotage. So trust yourself and don't doubt yourself. You have the Four of Cups and the Magician in the reverse. This is interesting. I find that both major arcanas are in the reverse. And I think it's to be wary of, what are you manifesting? Because if you are manifesting change but still wanting to people please and still full of self-doubt, we're not manifesting for our highest good. We're manifesting at a subpar rate, and we're manifesting at the alignment that we are currently at. So I think there's some stuff that's going to need to be released. The Four of Cups here, there is a feeling, I feel like, of complacency, boredom. This is so comfortable that even when it's dangerous, we're not going to leave because it's better. The words, the cliche, the term I'm hearing, right, is it's better to know the devil you know than the devil you don't. Well, that's not true, because you don't know you're going to even run into a devil. You may run into an angel, a savior, a beautiful soul like your own who's been wounded and could use a pick them up just like you. There's lots of different things. So this is, if we've been battling ourselves mentally, could even, again, with these projections, the people around you who may be trying to actively sabotage or stop this, could definitely, I heard, like, be trying to convince you again of all the reasons to stay. So I'm going to bring a message from the Keeper of the Light Oracle, guys, and see what an advice or energy that would be helpful to cut through this energy is. You have Freya and the cycles and phases of the moon. This is beautiful energy with her crow or raven in the background, the moon full. Secrets are becoming revealed. What was hidden is now in broad daylight, and this is also about using the magic. I heard the bird magic, but crows and ravens, beautiful, gorgeous, magic birds that can soar between dimensions. And I think that this is interesting as well, is because ravens and crows don't forget people, they don't forget animals, they don't forget when someone's done them wrong. And I think this is also important too for you not to forget. If there are people who are projecting onto you, and this happens all the time, call it out. Say, you know what, get out of this complacency and say, that really bothered me what you said, and explain why it bothered you. And, you know, there's a fine line here too, because we're not trying to come off hostile, but what we do want to do is express ourselves. And if we're in a relationship or a situation where we fear expressing our true authentic selves and our needs and our wants because somebody may leave us or because somebody may hurt us, this is not a healthy situation. The judgments that came up here as well is when we're afraid to talk openly about how we feel, what we want, you know, what we think, and we're around people, I feel like we're around the wrong people. So there is a beginning within every ending. Illusions are revealed and released. This is a really great time with this illusions. You may have had someone projecting to you your whole life. You could have a sense of self tied to projections. And this is where this phase coming in January 2021 says no more. We're going to change that line of thinking. And we have just entered a new moon in Capricorn right now as well. So for, I think it was like the 13th, 14th, no, 12th, 13th, something like that. But this is a really great time, I think, to actively make those choices, to set in motion plans and intentions to live your best life for you from the heart, trusting yourself, and to watch as well that as we trust in ourselves, the people that push us, as we set boundaries, the people that push us, this is really shining a light to the places where we need to change, and possibly people that are ready to leave our lives. Divine order. If there's endings, if there's falling outs, if there are quarrels and fights, there's stuff here that is bringing this stuff out into the open so it can be illuminated with this phases, and to be, I heard, separated too, like the wheat from the chaff, if that makes any sense for you guys. I think this could be people in your life, options that you've wanted, changes that you've wanted, career paths maybe even that you've wanted to do. This is going to, I feel like, really test you to find out what it is that you want. And Lady Portia says, divine order, do what you feel is right. An important lesson is unfolding. And I feel like this important lesson is learning to trust yourself, getting out of this Five of Swords energy that's in constant quarrel, and this Tower energy too. The Tower and the Magician, I am going to clarify with the Chakra Wisdom Oracle. So Spirit, can you tell me what's going on here? Thank you. You have the Four of Cups again. So it's interesting that I was asked by Spirit to clarify this. And I think why my reading for Aquarius didn't work out the first time was I did not put the zombie tarot in here. And they wanted it to show you there's a big emphasis. For some of you, this is a master number, a 4-4. Your life path number could be a 4. This is asking you to really focus on building stable foundations. In this card, she's safe. She is in her cocoon of green. It's almost like an earthy feeling as well. And she's in this beautiful, restful slumber, paying attention to her heart, nurturing her heart. In the other, he's very happy and content being comfortable, even though this comfort could eat his face off at any point. He's become complacent. And I think what I'm hearing is there's a real fine line between these two energies in terms of being happy and content and resting. But if we stay here too long, we get to this point. So we need to be able to take care of ourselves and build strong foundations within our heart, build strong foundations within our love life. And I think that's also where this is really important, because there's this double-edged sword and this dual energy I'm hearing with the Tower in the reverse and the Magician in the reverse. Is some of it's like, well, I'm not ready to move forward yet. Some of you might have been hurt from the past. Others of you are like, I'm scared to move forward. And I think this is why Spirit's like, you know what? Everything's in divine order. And things come and they go and things happen for a reason. Nothing stays the same. And if it did, wouldn't that get boring? I mean, eventually she's going to get hungry, right? He can't lay here forever. She's going to get hungry. Her breath is going to get real bad. And what's it going to take for him to wake up and go, holy shit, this is not a good situation? I feel like there's a real importance on for you right now. Seeing with the eyes of your heart means a few things, and I want to read it before we go, and this will be my parting message to you. But what I want to say before I read that is, when we see with the eyes of our heart, there's a difference between loving someone and, because we love them, allowing them to walk all over us and get what they want and treat us like shit. And us loving them, knowing that as much as we love them, we can hold space for the person we love them. We hope that they experience what they're meant to in this world, that they learn the lessons, that they become the people that are meant to be in our lives. But we eventually sometimes need to let go of those people to see with the eyes of our heart, to be true to us, not to be giving love out so freely to everyone else without giving it to us first. Because if people breadcrumb us, if people lie to us, if people manipulate us, if they treat us like crap, and if they make us feel like garbage, if they try and hurt us and project on us constantly, we don't need that. We need to love ourselves and see in that mirror the true beauty within you, that you don't deserve to have people treat you anything less than beautiful. The eyes of the heart. I rediscover the real beauty in everything and every person I meet. I see beyond the personality and its superficial nature, and see with my heart the energy of love that dwells in all of us. I am now filled with wonder at the presence of God and all that is. The eyes of the heart allow me to see the divine shining everywhere. I now live in true light. And this is really important as well, because a lot of us light workers, we will call in darkness. We will call in lessons. And it's really important that to know that that darkness that you may have went through, there was lessons, and there's always light. There's always a positive to that negative, and it's what we focus on. So if we focus on a bleak situation, right, then we may stay in a situation that's not for our highest good, and it's only thwarting us. When you think about, you know, the Five of Cups would be making a change, and while it might be scary in the short term, you have absolutely no idea what the world could manifest for you. And some of us think that's scary, right, with that whole devil we know, devil you don't. But I think it's, the world has wonderful things in store for you. So what I heard is, make that change of heart, allow your heart to shine, be who you are, and don't fear change. Allow the ebb and the flow of the universe to come and go, because again, these phases, these cycles, they're all in perfect divine timing and in divine order. that's what I have for you guys. I hope you had a really wonderful month. I hope that this month is awesome for you. I love you all. And in case I forgot, which I think I did say it, but happy birthday, Aquarius. You guys are awesome. And I'm also feeling like some of this, there's a message for the cuspers, the Capricorn, Aquarius cuspers. You may also want to check out the Capricorn reading. So that's what I have for you. I love you all. Talk to you later. Bye, guys.